Hey everyone, this is Broklahoma's channel. I'm Broke, or Dom if you want to call me that. And today we're going to be making some homemade potato chips. Now, I'm no cook, and I'm no chef by any means, by any stretch of the imagination. But we're going to kind of wing it and just make some homemade potato chips. Now, I've made them before, but it's been years, and I don't really remember the recipe, and I don't really care, because we're just going to kind of take it one step at a time. If it turns out great, it turns out great. If it doesn't, well, guess what? Potatoes aren't that expensive right now. I'm going to show you what you need real quick, what I feel is like just a basic of what you need to go forward. First thing you need is potatoes, okay? Potato is a great time to buy potatoes right now. They're about $4 for a 10-pound bag. The reason is Thanksgiving just got done and over with. Everybody has abundance of potatoes. They're trying to get rid of them before they go bad. So go out and get a 10-pound sack of potatoes. I want to say it was about $4 for 10 pounds, and I think you can probably get most places might be $5 for a couple bucks, or excuse me, 5 pounds for a couple bucks. Then you want salt. Of course, this is a Broklahoma channel, and I'm not broke for a reason. So we go for always save, because we're always going to save that extra 30 cents on a thing of salt, okay? Instead of paying 98, we'll pay, 68. So here we go. Always save salt. Oh, and this applies with iodine and necessary nutrient. We're going to go with black pepper, just a basic black pepper as a seasoning. And we're going to go with Weston's Best Blend. Now, I've never used this before in cooking. This was another thing that was on sale at the store. It's a combination of soybean oil and canola oil, and it seems to be, people seem to swear by it here, especially on the back. It says, taste what you love, pure and simple. So I'm going pure and simple today. First, before we get started, let's go wash those potatoes. Okay, guys, so how we clean our potatoes is we just bring them out of the sink. I like to just put them into one of these guys right here, so that way I can just rinse them off and get in the dirty sink. I rinse them off with cool water and just spray them down real well. Now, a lot of people like to get in here with a toothbrush, scrub them down, and get all the dirt off and stuff like that. I just kind of rinse them off a little bit, just try to take the dirt off. And want to make sure that we cut out all those eyes on there, especially if you've had potatoes. When it's sitting a while, those eyes are growing real long. You need to get those out. Always remember that you never eat potatoes that actually have green underneath the skin. Those can be poisonous for you. Just make sure you throw those out. They're not good. Okay? So once we're all done plucking all the eyes out of these guys, we're just going to go over. Looks like we got one more big one right there. Okay, so whenever we're done plucking out the eyes, give a quick little rinse, and then we're going to go over and we're going to preheat the oil on the stove. Okay, so we're getting the oil put on the stove here, and any big pan or pot will do, something that gives you a lot of room to be able to dump a large amount of oil in there. The pan that I decided to use was a Pioneer Woman pan that I had gotten about 7 years ago. And apparently in Oklahoma, everybody has to buy Pioneer Woman stuff, although it's complete garbage. But it makes a good big pan for boiling up potato chips in it. So, okay, so once this gets once this gets to temp, we'll throw the potatoes in there and we'll get it going. So now let's go chop up those potatoes. Okay, for this next part here, you want to make sure you have a nice, sharp knife, okay? I just like to use a regular, chef's knife here. You can use a paring knife, whatever you got. A lot of people will use a special sort of tool for this, but me, as in the name, I'm broke and I don't have anything like that, so I just use what I found on the side of a road one day coming home from church. So you want to make sure it's cut nice and thin. That way they got that thin, crispy chip. Okay, make sure you cut as thin as possible. That way it cooks nice and thin. Man, I'm losing my train of thought here with this. It looks so crazy. So that way when it's cooking the oil, it becomes nice and thin. It gets the salt packed in there real good. Things like that. So let me slice this up, and then we will go to the next step. Okay, now after we slice it up as thin as possible, it's probably could be a little bit thinner, but you know what? Oh well, potato wedges, potato chips, they both taste great. Some of them are real thin, some we got a little thicker. So it says sometimes you want to get that special machine to do it, unless your name is Broke, which is not broke like I'm broke. or something else. I'm broke literally financially. So what we're going to do is after we cut them all up, we're going to give them a little bath in some salt water. Now, how much salt do we use? I don't know. I just kind of judge in there. I guess you could probably guesstimate maybe a few tablespoons, something like that. I just sort of kind of put it in there and stir it up with my chopstick that I got from the Asian market in the city. Same place where I got this bowl, by the way. And I just kind of pour some in just so it gets nice and mixed up together there. Okay? So after we get our potatoes dumped in there, make sure they're all nice and separated because we want every single potato chip to get that good saltiness on it. We are going to put some more salt on it whenever we're done. We're going to put some salt and pepper on there. And if you ever have like a basic 2 things that you need in any cooking, it's salt and pepper, and I'll stick by that till the day I die. What this does here is you'll see it's starting to get like a real starchy look in the water. It really cleans up the potato, gets that starch out of there, and makes it ready for frying. So we'll leave it in here for probably about 20 to, we'll probably leave it in here maybe about 20, maybe to 30 minutes before we take it out. All right, it's been about 20 minutes and our potatoes are ready to come out of the salt and water solution. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull them out, we're going to separate them onto a plate, onto a paper towel. And we're going to keep layering them out till we get most of them out here. Okay? Get them nice and separated so get all that water and salt off. Then I'm going to take a paper towel and I'm just going to dab at them and just dry them off. All right, so now we've got our potatoes patted down. We are ready to fry them in our oil. One way to check to make sure that oil is ready to go is you just take a drop of water, just kind of drip it in there. Okay? That's definitely ready. No, it's like 18 drops of water. So we know it's ready to go. It's plenty hot. Probably actually could come down maybe about this. Well, it's plenty hot. So what we're going to do next is be careful when you're putting in your potatoes. We're going to set them in there and we're going to get it going, okay? So be real careful, all right? Be gentle. We're going to set them in there and we're going to let these fry up for about maybe 2-3 minutes until they start flowing. They get that nice golden brown on them, and then we'll pull them up. Okay, and once the chips start to float and they get kind of like golden brown on it there, I can pull them out, stick them on a paper towel. It's like most of these are done. There's a few of them that aren't. Stick them on a paper towel and just to dry off the grease and everything on there. Oh, they look really good. Look nice and fresh. Just if you ever go to Slim Chickens, they get those authentic fresh potato chips. They got a nice golden or a nice brown to them. Whenever I put them on the cloth over here, what I do while the grease is still hot, I like to take a little salt and pepper. You can use best choice if you want to. It's my best choice, but you can use whatever you want. Go ahead and salt them down a little bit. Okay. So I do a little salt. I do a little pepper. Okay. Oh, there we go. Now you can season these with whatever you want. I just go salt and pepper just because it's basic and it works out nicely, just as a simple seasoning. Okay, so here's the end result. They turned out great. There's a couple of them that were a little bit thicker than I wanted, but they still taste fantastic. The ones that are nice and crispy, they're a little bit thinner guys here. Turned out really great and crispy, really nice and crispy. You get that, oh yeah, that crispness in there, just wonderful. Better than any other Lay's chip that I've ever had in my entire life. So anyways, this is my chip recipe, just a basic way of making potato chips. Like I said, you can add any extra seasoning you want on there, but I decided to just go salt and pepper, just go with the basics, you know. This is Broklahoma. Thanks for spending your evening with me. Peace out.